Hello, everyone. I'm Larry Ridley. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. Passing may not come easy in today's game, as both defenses come in ranked in the top 10 in fewest pass yards allowed. It's the Cowboys going up against the Eagles. With that, it's time to hook up with our commentators in the booth as we turn it over to Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Larry. It's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look live there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Dallas Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Guyton. And Charles, you look at this Eagles team as they interplay here. They come in playing pretty good football. Winners of 4 of their last 6 games.
And the offense last week, they had things humming. If you're a defensive player, you may get overshadowed a little bit, but you're really buoyed by what your offense is doing.
Meanwhile, for the visitors here, the Cowboys, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
And I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. And out will come the leader of this offense, and that, of course, is their signal caller. First carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31. The numbers for Zeke from last week. 19 carries, 105 yards.
And the way they ran the ball in last week's game has to be satisfying to their entire staff because they're seeing not just a back gain big yardage, but they're seeing an offensive line really in sync.
This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be the
Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Fletcher Cox continuing to fight downfield. The big tackle gets him for a loss of 11. I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. Anderson now operating from the gun. And he's going to go down again. So a first quarter sack, and remember, keep in mind he had 2 sacks in last week's game.
And it's always intriguing to me to watch these great pass rushers because some of them, they need their teammates to scheme for them, maybe occupy people and make it a one-on-one matchup. Other guys, they just defeat everything in front of them. To get 2 sacks in a game, it's a little bit of both for you.
So on 4th down, here's Chris Jones to punt it away. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Now a fair catch signaled for and made right about the 43-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Eagles will have it taking over 1st and 10. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. They'll be led out by their 6'5" quarterback out of North Dakota State. It's Carson Wentz.
It was fun getting ready for this game, wasn't it? Because normally we talk to the coaches and the players. I think you and I asked to talk to the trainer to see how his arm is going to be.
A lot of ice after last week.
After last week's game, boy, what a performance that was. And you know who else is having fun? Receivers. Because they get a chance to do what they do best, which is go out and catch the ball.
Yeah, and that last week effort, he threw for well over 400 yards. And this offensive unit should have a lot of juice coming off the big output that they had 1 week ago.
Nothing like confidence, is there? When you've played well the week before, you can't wait to get back on the field and do it again.
Let's see what the offense comes with here. 2nd and 8. They run again with Ajayi. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7. And now the defense for Dallas.
I think most people locked in on Byron Jones when he came out of UConn at the NFL Combine, where he darn near jumped out of the stadium because of his vertical leap. But there's so much more to his game than that. Played cornerback and safety in college, and they can use that same ability to move him around in the NFL in order to create great matchups on defense for Dallas.
Now Wentz on third down. And incomplete here on third down.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. They came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. And now Dallas gets set to take the field.
And on the first drive, 3 and out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
The numbers for White a week ago: 5 catches, 96 yards.
And he's able to pull that last pass in, but this is usually a pretty tough unit to try and maneuver against. They're in the top 10.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations, because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
To throw on second down. Anderson looking middle, and that's complete. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Now Anderson. And the third down pass falls incomplete.
I wonder, Brandon, I just wonder, you think maybe he was worried about where he was on the field? Was he far enough? Was he close enough to the first down sticks?
Absolutely. He was right there by him, and I think he was thinking first down before he caught that football.
Yeah, got to catch it first, because if you don't catch it, there's no chance of picking up a first down.
And this will get inside the 20 and be touchdown just outside of the 15-yard line. Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Now, let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too. Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or man coverage, the drag route can be effective when it's run well.
They run with Ajayi. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. There are the numbers last week for Jay Ajayi. 23 carries, 92 yards.
And as we discovered and talked with the coaching staff prior to the game, going up against a team that struggled against the run has only emboldened them to run the football more. I expect 40 to 50 carries in this game.
Now Wentz throwing on second down. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Alshon Jeffrey, the intended receiver, and it's third and short.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
And he connects with Ertz. An Eagle first down, Wentz to Ertz.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
They go play action here on first down. Now he's flushed out left. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Eli Apple. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
They start on the ground with Elliott. And he'll push his way up to about the 44 here. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. Anderson. On the left side, a catch by White. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. A really nice gain of 25 yards. A first down carry by Elliott. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Anderson. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. And the defense now for the Eagles.
Fletcher Cox is a Pro Bowl, all-pro talent at defensive tackle. And even though he didn't have his best year in 2016, still warranted double and triple teams from opposing offenses. If he's singled up, he usually finds his way into the opposing backfield to wreak a little bit of havoc.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the gun, Anderson. And that is incomplete.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he's on here to punt it away. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football. Doesn't matter who you're rooting for in this game. The effort of the man with the football, getting away from one and trying to turn forward and get some yardage, I really liked what he did there.
Wentz to throw on 2nd down. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. A few issues here on the offensive line. Apparently, he got sacked 5 times last week. They got to him here in the first quarter.
And I would think that running the ball would be paramount here because it's a different team they're facing, but they watch the film as well. So they'll take many of those same principles and try and apply them in this game to see if they fixed what was wrong with them in the last game.
Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. Throwing now is Wentz. Flushed out right. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And they finally take him down, but not before he reaches the 43. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. And down to the 36-yard line here. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, that run right there was an offensive line coach's dream, wasn't it? Guys picked up all of their assignments, created a nice gap for the running back to get through, pick up 7 yards. Yeah, he's probably chortling on the headset right now saying, we got it going, boys. Let's keep it going.
Here's Ajayi. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
When the 4-3 defense is functioning really well, you know who stays what we call clean and no one gets to him? The guy playing the middle linebacker position, the guy we call Mike. That means the defensive front is eating up all the blocks and just let him go to the football and make a play.
Wentz looking to throw on 3rd and 2. And this is Ertz with it, right side. And he's brought down, but following a pretty juke move that gives him the first down. An Eagle first down there, Wentz to Ertz, and the names that end in TZ.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
And before they can get settled in here, time expires. Back live with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Eagles with the ball here to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. Wentz now to throw. And he fires one incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment. But here, he's one that has to absorb the contact. And as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's brought down. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. He'll pick up another first down with that run.
And incomplete on the deep ball.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. Jeffrey reels it in over the middle. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Wentz going to throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. A great effort there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Eagles are able to cash it in for 6. There are several elements to a well-executed screen pass. This one resulted in a touchdown. It had all of those elements.
Hey, you're so right because you really need the rush to almost get to the quarterback, almost get to the passer. Then you got to get the ball thrown perfectly, whether it's to the running back, the wide receiver, wherever the screen guy is. And, of course, the blocking has to form in front to get him downfield for the touchdown.
Now for the point after. He's got it, and the Eagles lead at 7-zip. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And an excellent return there as he's up to the 35 and make it the 40-yard line. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground, but that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. So they pick up the first down after the run, and now they approach for the fresh set. They keep on the ground with Elliott. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action and hit them over the top.
Back to throw. Anderson. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Anderson on 3rd and 2. Well, they would have gotten the conversion if he could hold on. Instead, the drop means it'll be 4th down. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football.
Those really long field goals, when they are made, they are things of beauty, but there is a danger to getting them started, isn't there?
Yeah, with that low drive, you've got to really keep it low to the ground, don't you, to get that distance.
Yeah, hard to just pop it up in the air because otherwise it's not going to get there. So he's got to drive it low in order to have the distance, and that usually puts it in jeopardy, gives him a chance to block it, and everyone knows it on the other side. That's when you get your best jumpers on the other side of the field and try and get up and get it.
Carry there, it'll be 2nd down.
Well, he's looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort for minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up. From the gun on 3rd down, Wentz. Escaping the pressure right. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Wentz can pull it down when he needs to, and the 6'5" quarterback picks up the first down. So the youngster able to use the legs to pick up the first.
And one of my pet peeves when they see this guy play, when Carson Wentz takes off running the football, I always hear people go, oh, he's sneaky athletic. No, he's athletic. Watch him do it. It's an integral part of the quarterback run game, and he gets it done very, very well.
Yeah, you don't like sneaky athletic, do you? That's just kind of a jab in the back.
Yeah, not when it doesn't apply. I think that's a stereotype that needs to be broken down for him. So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and they're going to face a 3rd down. I'm no offensive mastermind, but of all the guys on the field to block, you might want to stop him.
Look, I've got a very simple rule. An unblocked defender is usually your best defender, and he ended up making the play there.
Working from the gun, Wentz. And he'll go out of bounds down inside the 15-yard line. A gain of 19 and picking up the first.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
Now it's Ajayi. And he's going to get it inside the 10 to the 7-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, but close there quickly at the end. Now Wentz. Flush to his right. And the Eagles are in for 6. Extra point attempt to come here. And it's good to make it 14-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25.
Anderson loses the football. The fumble, but they're able to maintain possession. Now it's 2nd down. To throw is Anderson. From the gun, he'll throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
Here we go.
Here's Anderson throwing on 3rd and long. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he will have 1st down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. And a nice gain of 21 yards. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
Now Anderson looking to throw on 2nd down. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Thrown back across his body. Picked off by Sidney Jones. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line.
Well, the timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Jay Ajayi works his way back onto the field. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success, at least so far here in the 2nd quarter. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Ajayi. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
I once had a defensive player in the NFL tell me, if I beat and dominate the guy across from me, I'm helping my team. Well, winning one-on-one battles is always a part of the game, but when you have good team defense, as we just saw there, one broken tackle, but he didn't get away because the rest of the guys arrived to put him on the ground.
A minute 57 to go in this first half. We'll come back to Philadelphia after this. Coming up at halftime in a little less than 2 minutes, we'll send you to Orlando where Larry Ridley is standing by. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down for a loss back at the 3. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They get a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. On 3rd down, that's Barber. And he's going to lose yardage back to his own 1-yard line. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
This is fielded at the 27. Slips past him.
Where'd he go?
A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50. 1st and 10. Carson Wentz and the Eagles make their way out to the field. He's thrown for a touchdown. He also ran for a touchdown, so they have to count for a guy that can do a little bit of both.
And because of that, that puts a defense back on its heels. Because normally you just think, okay, he's going to throw the ball. Let's tee off, put a little extra pressure on him. But when he's able to either escape or run with the ball and design plays, that really changes what you try and do on defense.
Yeah, you certainly can't forget about the arm, that's for sure. Wentz now on 1st down. Eluding the pressure right. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. So they took a shot on 1st down but couldn't connect.
Boy, you will not see a quarterback of his caliber miss on one like that very often. I mean, there it is, wide open, got the shot, and he misfires.
We talk about, boy, he'll want that one back all the time. He definitely wants that one back. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Alshon Jeffrey in the final seconds of the first half. And the Eagles add 6 to their lead.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff. You don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. And it is now 21-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Short kick. One of the up middle take it down. And they're able to return this one all the way up to the 45.
Now that's the kind of return you're looking for. To get it to that spot on the field, that allows you to do a lot of things on offense.
first and 10. Anderson. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go. Des Bryant, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up second down.
Well, one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. He's going to float this one deep right into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 15. And he will be brought down as time is now run out on this first half of action. So we've come to halftime here in Philly with the Eagles on top. As we send you down to Orlando, where we check in with Larry Ridley and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Larry.
Thanks, Brandon, and welcome to our EA Halftime Report. I'm Larry Ridley. The Eagles are happy to be in front right now and just want to play 2 more solid quarters. The Cowboys won't panic either. They know they just need to take it 1 play at a time. All right, let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half. Eagles on offense. First quarter winding down. Wentz is able to find his mark deep downfield. Eagles now later on the drive. Pass coverage will break down here. And he capped off the long drive with the TD as they take a 7-0 lead. About halfway through the second, Wentz is going to take it off the right side, and he'll go in from 7 yards out. Eagles with the ball late in the half. Wentz is on point with the pass across the middle. And this goes 28 yards for the score. The Eagles up now by 21.
Okay, Larry, a fairly one-sided first half as we get set to go in the second half. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. All right, time for us now to discuss Alshon Jeffrey. Good day for him so far here in the third quarter. He's hit pay dirt once, over 100 yards, but hey, it's the third quarter. He's thinking, I want more, right?
He wants more, and it just increases the confidence of his team because every play he makes, that means his quarterback is really feeling good about throwing the football. Probably feels like he can't throw an incomplete pass when he throws it to him right now.
Yeah, he's looked really, really sharp. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Time running out here on the play clock. Here's Wentz to throw. And this one's incomplete.
Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well, and he didn't get that done on that play.
Back to the air on second down. Wentz. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Now Wentz. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. And he's going to get this one down right to the edge of the red zone of the chalk of the 20. A good pick up there of 20 yards. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll, in fact, tackle him behind the line. Well, that play was doomed right from the start.
They just about ran into every defender on that one, didn't he? It felt like everyone got a piece of that tackle.
On second down, here's Wentz. And that one was nearly picked. Not sure he was accounting for the free safety. That brings up third down.
I think it's pretty safe to say that when you're up 3 touchdowns, The last thing you want to do is hang one up there and put it in jeopardy and possibly get it intercepted. Got a nice lead. You should be able to protect it. But if you get careless with the football, look out.
Wentz. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sacks.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, but the net gain, 3 points.
And you're going to have drives like that in this league. Sometimes you just got to take the 3 and move on. Always better than nothing.
This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Anderson now to throw on second down. Going deep here for Bryant. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, third down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man. And you got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Looking to throw. Anderson. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
They'll try to sweep with Elliott. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line. And now it looks like we've got a Cowboy shaken up down there on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. The Cowboys on third down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. Operating from the gun, Anderson looking downfield for Dez. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. Another drive comes and goes, still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Throwing is Wentz. And they can't get the long connection as it falls incomplete. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play.
And the Cowboys Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack. David Irving able to drop him for a loss of 2, and that'll bring up 4th down. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
And now here's a carry heading left. And able to use his blockers to get this up over the 40. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Off the play fake, Anderson. Now he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team is playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. And his throw is incomplete.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And now running right through it. And he'll get this up to about the 40. The Eagles on 3rd down. They're hitting at 60%, 6 out of 10 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. To throw is Wentz. He'll wind up being stopped for no gain, and it'll lead to a 4th down. The Eagles send out their punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Fair catch called for right around the 11-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try to figure out what is working, and call more of that. An attempt at a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage.
All right, here we go. 3-19. Anderson
back to the air on 2nd down. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And they're able to bring him down at the 20. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
How about the timing on that one? Boy, they were in sync, weren't they? Three-step drop, balls out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
The Cowboys on third down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Back to throw. Anderson. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. Carson Wentz, along with his offense, heading back out there for their next possession. And the passing game, I mean, look at the numbers. It's fallen off. When a team is struggling, sometimes you look at the quarterback. When the quarterback starts to struggle, who goes over and picks him up?
Yeah, that's always a big one, isn't it? Usually, there's a quarterback whisperer somewhere. And what I mean by that is, whether it's an assistant coach, whether it's one of his best friends on the team, someone that can get in his ear, get with him and say, all right, my man, what do you need? What's going on here? So there's one person he can lean on. He's going to have to lean on that guy right now. Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
On first down, Wentz. Flushed out right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And almost intercepted. It would have been his second pick of the game. Instead, it'll be 2nd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense if that fell harmlessly to the ground. Finding some room at midfield. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Now the offense lining up 1st and 10. This is Ajayi. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
But he was stopped on that play. He's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And an alley to run. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down.
I know for us it's fun, and it's not so much fun for the rookie receivers when we see them coming into the league and we're going to training camps. You see them working on getting 2 feet down instead of 1. But the best ones train in college trying to get 2 down instead of 1, so the transition's a little bit less. In this case, though, wasn't able to complete it anyway.
It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. Into the red zone. Wentz escaping the pressure right. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is it bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Now the extra point. And the lead will grow by 1 more. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep him warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. To throw is Anderson, operating from the gun. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Looking to throw. Anderson. It's grabbed over the middle by White. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
So that'll back him up 5. The Cowboys on 3rd down. Just a 20% success rate at 2 of 10. This is 3rd and 10. Here's Anderson. From the gun, he'll throw. Going to throw right side here. Complete. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Wentz now on 1st down. Wentz has it left side. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on 1st down for them. Brings up a nice 2nd down for them.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. They give them 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. Now a toss play. It's Ajayi. And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
I know you're trying to wring every yard out of a run, but I think 9 yards there is ideal in this situation.
Yeah, now next couple plays, you only need 1 yard. Keep that clock rolling with a lead here in the fourth.
Yeah, what you're saying is maybe if it takes you 1 or 2 more runs to get the first down, that's extra time, extra plays. Really hurts the team on defense.
A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
They were not fooling around at all, were they? Second and short, and they brought out the heavy package. Almost felt like the super heavy package against that defense, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't think they expected that much beef up front, and it turned into an easy first down conversion. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Second down following the run. They'll toss it to Ajayi. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. 25 yards the pickup there, and also a first down.
Brendan, every great running backs coach I've talked with has always talked about when you have great vision, you're not consciously thinking about your cuts and your moves. You're just doing them. And I think that's what we're seeing tonight. He's about run them into submission.
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was just going to use that phrase. He has run them into submission.
Wave the white flag.
From the red zone now, Wentz. And that's complete to Jeffrey. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height, sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Is it okay if I break one of our rules, partner, which is to never call a game over until it's over? Because this certainly feels like it's over after that drive.
Yeah, that was spirit-crushing, wasn't it? And now you just kind of felt the air go out of the balloon.
Yeah, they were fighting so hard to stay in there, and they knew they had to stop them on that drive. But when they were unable to, I think you're exactly right. You could see them sag on their sideline, and I think this one might just be over.
And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they will not earn this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them putting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive. I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Now Anderson throwing on 3rd and long. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll go down after losing yardage at the 10. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th. Time for a break. This one all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he'll take it on this side of midfield. 39-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels, because Every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right? And sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages. And to give this time to the tailback. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Call it no gain there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 13. Kind of running there at your own risk against that 4-3 and that big line, aren't you?
Yeah, and I don't really run it against a good 4-3 team that well because I've got to get those guys on the move a little bit. If you're a static running team, meaning you just want to run it in the middle, you may have some trouble against good defensive tackles. That's what we just saw on that play. No gain.
Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down. The storyline of this one, Charles, no doubt the number 0. Zilch, nada. A shutout so hard to do in the NFL.
It really is, and what an accomplishment because you feel that not just on the defensive side, but as a full team. There's a lot of pride that goes into shutting out an opponent. And how about that 0 on the scoreboard for them, going along with those zeros in the time column too.
So for Philadelphia, the win moves them up to 5-2 now on the year. And they'll get to stay put for a few days as they'll host the Arizona Cardinals next week. Meanwhile, for Dallas, they suffer their 4th loss so far. And they will be at home next week to take on the New York Giants. That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. The Eagles are winners here as we say so long from Philadelphia.